In a dramatic shift reshaping Middle Eastern and European dynamics, Germany's recent policy recalibrations, analyzed in depth in our previous exposé, have set the stage for a geopolitical showdown. At the heart of this transformation lies Turkish President Recep Tayyip Erdoğan's bold maneuvers to neutralize Western leverage, particularly Germany's historical role as a mediator, and redirect regional power balances. This development, compounded by Israel's escalating military posturing, France's attempted resurgence in Syria, and the looming specter of naval conflict, paints a picture of a region on the brink of seismic change. Germany, long a linchpin of European diplomacy in the Middle East, now finds its influence waning as Erdoğan orchestrates a calculated withdrawal of the German card from Israel's strategic arsenal. This move, foreshadowed in prior diplomatic tremors, has far-reaching implications. By undermining Berlin's mediating role, Turkey aims to fracture Europe's unified front and position itself as the indispensable regional power broker. Parallel to this, Erdogan's overtures to French President Emmanuel Macron signal a dual strategy, countering France's attempts to reassert itself in Syria via Israeli-backed channels while pressuring Europe to abandon its Kurdish allies in northern Syria, a gambit that could redefine the Syrian conflict's trajectory. The stakes are existential. As the US under Trump disengages from Syria, leaving Kurdish forces vulnerable, Turkey is pushing for a new regional alliance, a quad comprising Turkey, Iraq, Jordan, and Syria, to marginalize international coalitions and consolidate Ankara's dominance. This realignment risks destabilizing the fragile remnants of the anti-ISIS partnership and emboldening Erdogan's vision of a Turkic-led order. Meanwhile, Israel is doubling down on military deterrence. The recent test of the fifth-generation Gabriel V missile, a cutting-edge naval weapon developed by Israel Aerospace Industries, marks a pivotal escalation. Designed to neutralize threats from Egypt's Mistral-class warships and Turkey's growing Blue Homeland naval doctrine, the Gabriel V's deployment to Greece underscores Israel's strategy to encircle rivals and secure Mediterranean dominance. For Egypt, this translates into an existential naval threat. For Turkey, it amplifies the urgency to secure advanced European weaponry, such as the Meteor air-to-air missiles and Eurofighter Typhoons, to counterbalance Israel's technological edge. Behind the scenes, Azerbaijan-mediated negotiations hint at clandestine arms deals that could funnel these systems to Ankara and Cairo, further isolating Israel. Beneath the military brinkmanship lies Israel's controversial Katz Plan, a scheme to voluntarily relocate Gaza's population through the port of Ashdod, effectively ethnically cleansing the Strip under the guise of humanitarian aid. This plan, tacitly endorsed by the Trump administration, faces fierce resistance from Turkey, Egypt, and a fractured Europe. Germany and France, wary of complicity in what many deem a war crime, now confront a moral quandary: align with US-Israeli unilateralism or uphold international law. Turkey's naval maneuvers to block Israeli ships from transporting Gazans, coupled with Egypt's threat to intercept vessels, raise the alarming prospect of a Mediterranean naval clash. The Gabriel V's presence near Cyprus and Greece adds fuel to this tinderbox, as Israel seeks to safeguard its demographic engineering while regional powers mobilize to thwart it. The Trump administration's hands-off approach, refusing to deploy troops to Gaza while greenlighting Israeli strikes on Iran, has left allies adrift. By prioritizing a non-nuclear deal with Tehran over containing Israel's aggression, Trump has effectively outsourced Middle Eastern security to Netanyahu's government. This abdication has emboldened Israel to act unilaterally, confident in its US-backed military supremacy, but increasingly isolated diplomatically. Europe, meanwhile, is scrambling to reclaim relevance. Macron's bid to resurrect French influence in Syria and Germany's hesitation to endorse Israel's Gaza policies reflect a continent struggling to reconcile its humanitarian values with realpolitik. The rift between Washington and Brussels widens daily, mirroring Trump's alienation of Europe in Ukraine negotiations, a pattern that Erdogan exploits to fracture NATO and elevate Turkey's strategic value. The Middle East stands at a historic inflection point. Turkey's audacious play to sideline Germany and France, Israel's gamble on military hegemony, and Europe's existential reckoning over its role in Gaza's tragedy are converging into a perfect storm. The Gabriel V missile tests are not merely technical trials but symbolic salvos in a broader contest for control of the Mediterranean's waters and the soul of international law. As Erdoğan forges a Turkic Islamic axis and Israel doubles down on unilateralism, the world watches to see whether Europe will capitulate to Trump's transactional isolationism or reassert itself as a guardian of multilateral order. One truth is undeniable. The era of US-dominated Middle Eastern diplomacy is ending, and the vacuum will be filled by those bold enough to seize it, with consequences that will reverberate for generations. This analysis underscores the urgent need for coherent international engagement before the region's fragile alliances collapse into open conflict. The clock is ticking.